Okay, so if you're a life coach or a hypnotherapist or any kind of a positive change entrepreneur, and you know that you're holding yourself back and you're stuck and you're not making as much of a difference as you could be making, and you're ambitious and you want to grow your results, have a much bigger impact in the world, and build a much more abundant life of freedom, then you are absolutely in the right place. I'm going to tell you today about the biggest energetic shift that you can make right now that will start to get you unblocked so that you can build the business and the life of your dreams. A quick story. I was on holiday last year with my family, and it was a really, really hot day. We were driving down the road. We saw a sign for fresh fruit ice creams, and we thought, well, we'll pull over and we'll do that. So we pulled over. My wife, Ruth, and my daughter, they walked up to the counter to join the queue. It was a hot sunny day, so of course there was a big long queue. Anyway, I came and joined them, and I looked at the menu, and it listed all the different flavours, included banana and cherries, and I thought, well, that both looks really, really good. So I said to them, can you order me a banana and cherry ice cream? And they both said, no, you can't do that. Look at the menu. You can choose bananas or you can choose cherries. It doesn't say both. I said, I want both. Please order me both. They were both kind of rationalizing, you can't do that. We can ask them, but they might not do it. They might not want to do it. The way we talk about this in EVT, I was being A-B'd. I was being given the choice of A or B, and my choice was both. So anyway, I just walked up to the counter myself and I said, I'd like a banana and cherry ice cream, please. And the lady just made me a banana and cherry ice cream, handed it to me, and I said, thank you very much, and walked off, slightly gloating. This is a really, really, really powerful point for you as a coach and as a creator of positive change in the world. Is one of the things we do as coaches is we rip the blinkers off of our clients, and we need to be able to do the exact same thing for ourselves. And whenever in life you are faced with a choice of A or B, sometimes you just got to say both. I will take both. This is so important. It might seem like a nothing story, but it's so important because it's going to help you to grow a much more successful business. It's going to be transformational in your life. And it's going to mean that when you work with clients, you're literally ripping blinkers off them all the time, and you're changing their perception of what's possible and what's not possible. And you're opening up this whole big new world of possibilities. Now, be aware, out there in the world, people are trying to A-B you all the time. Okay, politicians are famous for this. This is our political party, there's another political party, or there's this cause and there's another cause, and you must choose one of the two because that one's terrible, we're wonderful, choose our one. Okay, and salespeople do the same thing. You can buy our product or you can buy somebody else's, and our one's wonderful and the other one's terrible. And make a choice, A or B. And you get this stuff all the time. The media, the same thing. Whatever in life today, you're going to find that a lot of the problems that are being caused on a global scale, but also for us personally, are caused by this false idea of choose this or choose this, but when actually you can choose both. And so, it's causing frustration. It's causing us to be stuck. This is what you really need to understand today. What we talk about in EVT is the difference between your goals and your shadow goals. So you have a goal. You have a goal to grow an amazing coaching business, or you have a goal to do amazing, wonderful work in the world, okay, and to turn your dreams into a reality. But you also have a goal, which is called your shadow goal, and that is to not do that. Strange as it might seem, there's this famous quote by Richard Bach in the book Illusions that says, we don't have a goal without having the means to make that goal come true. We may have to do some work, however, and the work that we have to do is not like hard work, like lifting rocks up a mountain. The hard work we have to do is just changing beliefs, changing identity, changing who we believe we are, and changing our energetic frequency. When you do that, you can make any goal that you want come true. And the point is, if your dream is to have an amazing coaching business and you are holding yourself back, or you're not achieving all the wonderful things, you're not doing all the amazing things you could be, then the shadow goal is coming into play, the shadow goal to not be successful. Now, why would that work? Well, for a lot of coaches, the goal to be successful is about making a difference in the world, having a positive impact. But the shadow goal of not being successful is to be safe, to play small, to not be judged, to not be in a situation where we might fail and experience those feelings of failing, or being put into a new arena where we don't feel comfortable. And so both of those goals come into play. And the problem is that probably a lot of the things you've been taught in the past teach you just to work with the goal or just to work with the problem, but not actually to take this holistic view, this holistic energetic frequency view that actually, just like the ice cream story, you can have both. I first started working as a hypnotherapist way over 25 years ago now. And I've worked as a hypnotherapist and a life coach. And you know, back in the day when before I was doing all the business coaching, when I was actually working with lots and lots of different clients, when I first started, I helped people with stopping smoking, you know, quitting smoking and losing weight and phobias, all those kinds of things. And what's really difficult for people to grasp is when you have a goal, you also have a shadow goal that's the exact opposite. And it might feel like it's exactly what you don't want, but usually it's what people are getting. So, for instance, someone who wanted to quit smoking had that goal, but they also had a very clear shadow goal to keep smoking. Okay? And the person that wanted to lose weight had a very clear shadow goal of not wanting to lose weight. The person who had a phobia of flying also had a very clear shadow goal of, do not want to get on a plane. My goal is to stay off the plane, to not fly, to keep the phobia. So, you have to actually energetically go quite deep to figure out why that would be. So the person that wants to stop smoking, well, they want, you know, why do they want that goal? What's the deeper reason? They want to be healthy and free and, you know, live their best life, etc. But the shadow goal, I want to keep smoking. Well, what I discovered was the shadow goal was they wanted to have this rebellious identity. You know, they wanted to be like James Dean, or they wanted to be like whoever, and the Marlboro Man, you know, and it's like they wanted to be this person. They wanted to be rebellious. They didn't want to be told what to do. They wanted to be different. Okay, and that was two different energies conflicting, just like the AB, just like the two flavors of ice cream. And the clear solution is to get both. Well, I'm going to be free and healthy, but I'm also going to be different and rebellious. I can have both. Same with losing weight. A lot of my clients, you know, they'd want to lose weight. Why? Oh, they want to look beautiful. They want to feel attractive and they want to feel healthier, etc. Shadow goal, I want to keep weight because I want to feel protected. I want to feel in control. I want to feel safe. I want to feel hidden in some ways. Well, can you feel beautiful and attractive and healthy and safe and protected? Okay. And you know, and secure. Yeah. Choose everything. When someone says to you, you can have this or this, no, I want both. Same with the phobias. So fear of flying. You can think of so many clients where they wanted to get on a plane and go and visit their kids that lived overseas, you know, but on the other hand, they wanted to stay on solid ground because it was much safer and they felt safe and protected. So is it okay to be able to want to travel and be free and have adventures and stay connected with your loved ones and feel safe and feel in control? Yeah, choose everything. Now, okay, what we get to here, once you start realizing that whatever goal you have in your life, your personal goals, your professional business goals, etc., whatever they are, you have shadow goals that are the exact opposite. Once you realize that, and you know that deep down, this is just about energetic frequency, and you can actually have all of that. Okay, and we move out of the world of compromise and move into the world of win-wins. We create two energetic wins, a win-win, and the blinkers come off, and it's amazing. Once you realize that, what people then say is, well, that sounds great. I've made that decision. I want both flavors of ice cream in my life. But how do I do it? How do I do that? Don't worry about how you do it, okay? What you're going to realize in the next video when I talk about source code and uniqueness and your unique gifts and strengths and passions and superpowers and purpose, you're going to realize the how is going to take care of itself. But what you've got to do today is decide you are going to achieve your dreams and goals. You're going to find out what the shadow goals are and you're going to achieve those too, so that you get a win-win and your life will transform and you'll have the skills to help other people in exactly the same way and the confidence that it works, and you're going to be on a completely different journey. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to tell you a couple of quick stories about this, but before I do, just understand a principle of manifestation is that if you've got a goal, you will manifest that goal, all things being equal. Okay, so let's say you're a bit stuck in your business, you're not doing the big things, the big ambitious things you know you want to do, you're kind of stuck or on a plateau. That's fine, but understand, if you want to get to the next side of that, if you want to grow, if you want to scale, if you want to do amazing things, you will. That's manifestation. What you focus on and where you put your energy and the things that you believe in, the person you want to become, it will happen. And if it's not happening, that's where the shadow goals are coming into play. And I'll give you two examples. So in my life, like I say, I've been doing this a long time. I've worked with a lot of coaches. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of coaches have this exact breakthrough when they realize, wow, I can have what I want. And they let go of the energetic blocks. They get breakthroughs. I've seen this again and again, like I say, hundreds, thousands of times. And so this is real. This is absolutely real. For me, my own story of, when I've really used this, I moved halfway around the world. I moved from the United Kingdom. I moved to New Zealand, where I live now. And when I moved, I stopped doing the hypnotherapy, the life coaching, the training work, stopped the NLP. I stopped doing all of those things, embarked on a different business journey for a year or two. And it was just terrible. It was catastrophic. It just went so badly because I was right off of my path. So there was an economic crash. And right at that point where I realized everything was going wrong was pretty much the exact same moment that Ruth said to me, hey, great news. Baby number 2 is on the way. And I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome that baby number 2 is on the way. But not so good that economically and everything else, stability-wise, it felt like everything was falling to pieces. So I was like, what am I going to do here? How am I going to reinvent myself? What's the next step? And of course, it was going back to what I was good at, going back to, what I love doing, what I was, had a great track record for. So I was going to go back and start seeing clients again, running the training schools again, and helping people grow their businesses. But to do that, I realized it had to be different than before. So my goal was get back into what I'm best at. Let's be a coach. Let's be an NLP practitioner. Let's do all of those things. Get back to what I'm good at. That was the goal, and be successful, and build a really successful organization, which we've done, of course. But the thing is, the shadow goal was don't do that. And I had to look at that. Why a shadow goal? Why have I not been doing that? Why have I changed course? Why have I drifted off course? What's happened there? And I realized it was because there was a big energy in me that felt it had to do things the way I'd been told. There was a certain way I had to do it and had to be really professional. This is all about conflict. There was the conflict right there. I wanted a successful business, professional, but I also wanted to be creative. I wanted to do things my own way. I wanted to be free to change the rules, okay? Something that was a bit more creative, a bit more spiritual, a bit more, energetic based. And I just wanted to do things my own way. And once I realized it was like the blinkers, it was like the 2 ice creams, I can do both. As soon as I realized that, everything changed, and it was wonderful. And I'll give you another story that's not as clearly related, but it could give you a really big breakthrough. And it comes from a book, and I haven't read the whole book. I read this story, somebody put me onto this, and I read it, and I was just amazed. It was so powerful. It's about the idea of these conflicts and shadow goals and friction. This company made beds, and apparently they made amazing beds, and they sold the beds online. And the people online loved the bed. They were going onto the website, choosing the bed they wanted, putting it into the shopping cart, and then abandoning and not completing the purchase. And so the goal, of course, was for the customer to buy a bed. So the company were like, oh, what can we do to sell more of these beds? They're like, we'll make them cheaper, we'll make them better, we'll do better photos, we'll sell the benefits, we'll tell people how amazing they are. And what they realized was, the more they tried to sell these beds, the bigger the problem became. Just like with us coaches, sometimes the more we learn, the more new ideas, the more skills, the more we're taught, we think we'll become more confident and more motivated. And actually the block becomes bigger sometimes. And that's what was happening here. They were trying to sell these beds and people were abandoning. And they were like, well, what on earth are we supposed to do? So they did some research. They talked to these customers, tried to find out why they weren't completing their purchase. And what they found out was it was nothing to do with the bed itself. It was to do with what they had to do with their old bed. The shadow goal was, I'm not going to say they were lazy, but they didn't want to have the hassle of having to get rid of the old bed, dismantle it, take it downstairs. Like, to be honest, that was spoiling the idea of a lovely new bed, was being spoiled by the thought of how on earth am I going to shift the old one? And some of them had bad backs, of course. That's why they were buying a new orthopedic bed, because they had sore backs. Last thing they want to do is to have to struggle downstairs with an old bed and take it to the rubbish tip or whatever. And so this was the real problem. The shadow goal was, I don't want to have to move the old bed. So what they did, they changed the advertisement on their website to say, buy this amazing bed, and if you do, we will take away your old bed for free. Sales went through the roof. Transformational, because they realized that the person thought they could only have the new bed, but they'd have the problem of the old bed. But when they realized, just like the ice creams, you could have 2 flavors, you could have the goal and the shadow goal, everything changed. So this is one of the problems we've got. You're taught about the next shiny thing, the next course, the next business training, the next thing you're going to learn. And we all do that. I've been on this journey and we think, once I've learned that new thing, I'll be so confident, I'll be ready, I'll take on the world. But then you learn the new thing and actually the block, the fear, the frustration gets worse. And this is the reason. when you learn this EVT approach, this energetic approach to transformation, and you realize that we can get rid of compromise, we can create a win-win energy, what you realize is you can have anything you want in your life. You can create any goal, any breakthrough, any transformation that you choose. And that is what gives you confidence. That whole fraud factor, fake it before you make it. As coaches, we don't like that. We don't want to be frauds and fake it till we make it. We want to be real. And when you experience the breakthroughs and the transformation for yourself, your confidence goes through the roof, and then you can really help other people. And that is an amazing thing. As I said earlier, the question is, okay, great, Ed, this is what we do. We get both the goals. We choose both flavors. We go for the win-win, an abundant life where everything's wonderful. But how do we do it? Don't worry about how we do it. How we do it is we change our frequency. You learn about other EVT concepts, to like the source code concept and some of the other things I'm going to teach you in the other videos. But for now, make that decision. You are going to achieve your goals, and you're going to achieve your shadow goals. You're going to have some massive breakthroughs. And this is a really, really exciting opportunity. This is a really exciting moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in video 2, when we're going to talk an awful lot about the source code switch and your unique superpowers and how you bring that into play and how you create that kind of an energy shift for yourself and also for your future clients and to grow your business and an amazing life. Oh, and also, of course, if you're interested in our Transform 3 program, this is where I teach energetic vibrational tuning, and I teach people the transformational skills and also how to use that to create abundance and freedom in your life, and how to make magical transformational changes for clients and for others. And I show you how to grow a business based on abundance and unlimited possibility-based principles. If that sounds of interest, then I've included a link below this video. So it's either below the video or in the description. And if you click that link, you can go and find out more. Have a read through, see if it sounds like the kind of thing that would be a great fit for you. And if it is, fill out your details and get in touch. And yeah, we can discuss whether it indeed is going to be a great fit. And if so, we'll be able to tell you what to do next. So again, see you in video 2. Hope this has been valuable for you.